You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
Hi, I'm Jay Farner, CEO of Quicken Loans, America's largest mortgage lender. Spring will be here soon, so if buying a new home is on your to-do list, right now is the time to call Quicken Loans. Learn about which mortgage options make sense for you and get a jump on your competition. With our exclusive Rate Shield approval, the low rate you lock today is protected for up to 90 days while you shop for your new home. With a Rate Shield approval, if rates go up, your low rate stays locked. But if rates go down, you get that new, even lower rate. Either way, you win. Talk to us today at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com to take advantage. Here's another great reason to work with us. For a record 9 years in a row, J.D. Power has ranked Quicken Loans highest in the nation in customer satisfaction for primary mortgage origination. Again, to lock in today's low mortgage interest rate and get the security of our exclusive Rate Shield approval, call us today at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com.
For J.D. Power award information, visit jdpower.com. Rate Shield approval only valid on certain 30-year fixed-rate loans. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLS number 3030.
Thoughts of suicide may feel impossible to overcome, but with help and support, you can find hope and meaning. Call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-TALK to speak to a counselor, or visit suicidepreventionlifeline.org. It's free, it's confidential, it's available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And even if it feels like it, you're not alone.
Hey, I'm Andy. If you don't know me, it's probably because I'm not famous. But I did start a men's grooming company called Harry's. The idea for Harry's came out of a frustrating experience I had buying razor blades. Most brands were overpriced, overdesigned, and out of touch. At Harry's, our approach is simple. Here's our secret. We make sharp, durable blades and sell them at honest prices for as low as $2 each. We care about quality so much that we do some crazy things, like buy a world-class German blade factory. Obsessing over every detail means we're confident in offering a 100% quality guarantee. Millions of guys have already made the switch to Harry's, so thank you if you're one of them. And if you're not, we hope you give us a try with this special offer. Get a Harry starter set with a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, shave gel, and a travel cover. All for just $3 plus free shipping. Just go to harrys.com and enter 5000 at checkout. That's harrys.com, code 5000. Enjoy.
I'm little teapot, short and stout.
Here is my handle and here is my spout.
No, Dad, like this. When I get all steamed up, then I shout, tip me over and pour me out.
This is WWE superstar Roman Reigns. It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Visit fatherhood.gov, brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com.
Live from the entertainment capital of the world, Long Island, it's the Loftus Party. It's episode 197. We are coming up on episode 200. I'm pretty darn stoked. There's a lot going on. There's always tons going on. We got the Gimlet on the other end of the line. We got Kung Fu Rick. Hello. That's a very Seinfeld bit. Hello. We got Kung Fu Rick behind the board. We're having a blast. There's a lot to talk about, but here's the deal. Here's where I'm wrestling with a little bit of doubt. I'm telling you right now, Gypsy, I'm tired of the whole impeachment thing. There's just so many holes in the story. I've read the transcript. the whistleblower and his connections and Adam Schiff and him being shady and who can testify and who can call witnesses. I just don't think there's any. Here's where I'm torn. That's like the narrative that the left wants us to go with, that we should always be breathlessly anticipating, ooh, the whistleblower, ooh, and this guy who overheard this part, what are they gonna say? And is this guy gonna testify? I've read the flippin' transcript, and I've seen, when the little leaks, they leak out these little nuggets, and then you look at the entire transcript of the questions and the answers, and everybody's saying no quid pro quo, no quid pro quo. I just don't see a crime. So I feel like I don't know if there's an expectation from the audience of like, ooh, I know Lofty and Gimlet, they're really going to tear into that impeachment business. They're going to, and I'm like, oh man, I'm done with it. Something new needs to happen. There needs to be a twist.
Well, there needs to be a twist, but I mean, first of all, the only good thing that's come out of this, as far as I'm concerned, is Tom Shalhoub's bits imitating Adam Schiff reading like nursery rhymes and stuff on Gutfeld. Those clips crack me up. If you haven't seen them, I strongly recommend them.
I've seen them, and they're creepy. And Shalhoub's a very, very funny guy. They're very good. I want them to do more stuff like that. That's what I'm gonna say. I want them to do more stuff like that.
Well, no, just the whole googly eye thing with the perfect little blush on the cheeks. Like, it's just the whole look that cracks me up.
Oh yeah,
like it's crazy. Dead on.
Yeah.
Anyway, but so we have Marie, the former ambassador, Tovich or whatever her last name is. She's already lied.
Yeah.
So she's already like a damaged witness. We have a serial liar in Adam Schiff overseeing this entire process. I've read Devin Nunes's witness list and was actually cracking up. I mean, number one, there's nothing on there that's a ridiculous ask. And number two, Adam Schiff's going to say no to all of it.
Well, didn't he call for Adam Schiff to testify?
He called for Adam Schiff to be deposed behind closed doors because they have questions for him about his office's interactions with the whistleblower, which they should.
Yeah,
like, if you get to a trial in the Senate, it's very, very possible that Trump's lawyers could call Adam Schiff because he's actually a material witness.
Yeah.
I mean, he was tweeting out the basic allegations from the whistleblower the entire month of August.
Yeah, and then you find out they've been hanging out and talking and not telling people about it, and they got little assistants going hither and yon. It's like, you're supposed to go to court, and then you find out the judge has been hanging out with the prosecuting attorney and their key witness for months on end. The whole thing reeks. It just stinks to high heaven.
I don't know what Nancy Pelosi is doing. I thought she was fairly politically astute, but putting this dude in charge of the whole thing, it just stinks on its face, right? And
it seems like
we see the
Nancy Pelosi being smart enough to do this. Nancy Pelosi being smart enough to do this. She's putting it all on Schiff. She's like, I'll call the vote. I'll do the thing. I think Schiff probably lied to Nancy Pelosi, and that's why she's like, you know what? You can just be in charge of the whole thing, so that when it does go south, when the Schiff hits the fan, it's all on Schiff. It's all on him, and there you go.
Should be.
Yeah. Oh, and if you're talking about the lawyer.
Oh, the lawyer.
The guy who tweeted
girls,
out.
Apparently.
Oh, I didn't know that part.
You didn't see his creepy YouTube channel?
No, I saw is this the guy who tweeted out the coup has begun?
Yeah, and he had a YouTube channel that he's now deleted, but somebody archived it that had a bunch of pictures of Demi, a picture or a video of Demi Lovato growing up, from the time she was just a kid.
What?
And there were 3 videos about young women on the bottom.
What in the Sam Hill?
Yeah, no, he hasn't commented on that, but it was his YouTube channel, supposedly.
Man.
Yeah,
I just
this
think
dude.
it's crazy that this guy, okay, the whole like child thing, that's just I can't even I didn't even know about that. But I'm like these tweets of his like the coup has begun. This will take a long time. That it's that part is like you can't joke that away. You
No,
cannot
you really
joke that
can't.
away. And you can't joke what the heck? What's the weirdness? I didn't even know about the Demi Lovato thing. Boy, that took a turn.
Yeah,
When I
that
said
came.
a
I
couple
think it
minutes
was on
ago,
Mark Dice's
when
TL.
I said I wanted there to be a twist, I didn't expect there to be
Oh,
a twist like that. Oh, and the whistleblower's lawyer. Oh my gosh. Today I always want to call it Media Matters, Media Buzz with Howie what Kurtz whatever. What's his girl? She outed the whistleblower. She said his name. She said his name on the air, and that Molly Hemingway.
oh, good for Molly.
Yeah, they were getting all this. The whistleblower Don Jr. said his name, and is that right? And the media, should they protect him? And it's not illegal. It's not illegal
It's
to
not.
name the guy. Yeah, and I wish I could know his. I
And
wish I
he's
knew his
not
name.
even a whistleblower.
Yeah, well,
You know what was interesting? Have you seen this guy, Fred Fleitz, the former CIA agent who's been
no, I have not.
commenting on Fox? Okay, he's got white hair, and he's a very, very well-spoken man. He owns or he's the head of some security studies group now. But he had an interview a couple weeks ago that I just happened to pick up and listen to. They knew who it was then.
Oh, it's
it's been the worst kept secret in DC. It was the New York Times that gave the guys particulars that helped everybody figure it out. There aren't that many people on the NSC, and there aren't that many people that leave the NSC and go back to the CIA. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm sure it's a very short list.
They just basically pointed an arrow to him. And
what's the guy's name? Eric
Taramella.
I always want to call him Eric Carmen. Eric Carmine.
No, it's Taramella, I believe. It's CIA, and I think that's Italian, and it's a ch sound.
Yeah, I'm thinking of the guy who sang the song "All by Myself," which would actually be a fitting song for the whistleblower.
But he wasn't all by himself.
Yeah, I know. That's the ironic part of it.
Right.
Don't wanna be. Oh, that's a good. See, Tom Shalhoub should do that video where he's like walking through a field in slow motion, and here comes the whistleblower.
Adam Schiff.
Yeah, Adam Schiff. All by my. I don't want to owe somebody money, so I can't sing the whole thing.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
well, I mean, and Adam Schiff is reaching into his inner failure as a screenwriter as he's painting this picture. I mean, the New York Times did a profile of him on Friday that was so glowing, and I'm like, are we even talking about the same person?
It's the way the media has circled the wagons on this, and it's the height of hypocrisy. And there's no real joke here, but it's like, we must protect the whistleblower at all costs. We must protect the whistleblower at all costs.
Makes you all look terrible.
And then you have that poor girl, because they did that ABC News anchor was like, man, I had the dirt on Epstein 3 years ago.
Wow.
And somebody leaked that tape. Boy, ABC called up CBS and they said, there's a person who used to work here. We think it might be her. And they fired her. They fired that whistleblower so fast.
Except
and then it turns out
her.
It wasn't even her.
Yeah.
Wait. Yeah. That's they and I believe the dude from Project Veritas who's like, nope, that wasn't her.
The whistleblower wrote a letter.
Dude, and he's still there. Yeah.
I'm still sitting here among you. It ain't the last time it's gonna happen. I'm like, go.
You could not ask for better timing comedically for we must protect the whistleblower at all costs. Mm-hmm. Hey, somebody blew the whistle on you. Fire him. Track him down. Get all the usual suspects in here. Do a statewide dragnet. Close down the city. It's just insane. Well, it's not insane. Actually, it's par for the course.
ABC.
So if she recorded that,
You got
Oh,
caught
yeah.
covering for a pedophile. That's nobody's fault but your own.
Yeah. And like nobody knows who Epstein is. And then someone did this great like compare and contrast thing about like the stories they were running at the time. It's
well
here. Oh, this brings me. Who said
George
what?
Stephanopoulos went to his dinner party when he got out of prison the first time.
The
attachments to Clinton World are insane.
Oh my goodness. And flight logs and all that other stuff. It is not they want this Epstein thing to go away so bad, and which makes the Epstein didn't kill himself memes so much better.
Oh my God,
so
that
much
cracks
better.
me up.
I'm sure you saw the
somebody
kid
put
the football game.
I saw it. Somebody put something up today that said the Epstein didn't kill himself meme has lasted longer than Epstein did in prison.
It did. And there's great jokes.
I know.
Like someone sent in one. What's the difference between Jeffrey Epstein and Christmas lights? Christmas lights don't hang themselves. That's fantastic. And I love how people are sneaking it in at the end of like statements now. Like that dude on Fox News who trains the military dogs.
Oh, that cracked me up.
That was great.
Did you see Jesse's face?
Oh, it's fantastic.
You rarely ever see Jesse like just sat back on his heels and he just didn't know what to do for a second.
Okay. Oh, that seems to be the response is the double okay. Like after someone does that, you go, okay. It happened yesterday before the LSU game. They were talking to some kid who was walking in, and his last name was Savage, which I just thought was hilarious. Right. But they're like, so what do you think about the President Trump? And he's like, I like him. You know, his policies are really working out. I know a lot of people don't like, you know, the way he's done things, but his policies are really helping out all Americans. And Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself. And then you just heard the guy in the back, like the cameraman going, okay. Hilarious.
No, but I watched the whole game yesterday, and what a game that was, can I just say? I thought the president was there. They didn't put the camera on him once.
Because you know, it doesn't fit with what they want out there. They want everybody to remember that Washington game, you know, from the World Series. They certainly don't want a stadium full of people on their feet and cheering and losing their minds. That was awesome. And I don't know if it's just my Twitter feed, but it seems like everybody's retweeting that. I know I did. It was fantastic. Melania looked smoking hot. The president looked good. You know, huge round of applause. It was fantastic.
You know what I was thinking the other day?
Huh.
So, George Bush gets elected president. Couple years in, he looks significantly older.
Yeah.
Barack Obama gets elected president. Couple years in, he looks significantly older. Like, that's a thing, right? Yes. Donald Trump gets elected president, and his hair actually doesn't look as stupid anymore, and he still looks exactly the same.
Isn't that crazy?
Like, he hasn't aged. Crazy? Do you think?
I don't think he has. It's funny you should bring it up, but I think he, like, legit, he looks the same today that he did in 2015.
And his hair doesn't look as crazy. His hair actually looks better.
Maybe you're just getting used to it. Maybe it's maybe you got Stockholm syndrome with the hair. But like, he doesn't look tired. He doesn't look worn out.
No.
He just like, and maybe it could be the big change. Is like,
I mean,
you go from being Barack Obama to a kind of, you know, he was like a senator who voted present most of the time.
Yeah,
you're George Bush. You were running God knows what, and then all of a sudden you're president.
Texas.
You have to work for a living. You got to work.
I mean, he ran Texas.
That's true.
That's not a small thing.
No, Texas is a very big thing.
Yeah, but I mean, every president that happened to. I mean, even Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan was older when he took office, but he still obviously aged while doing the job. And like this dude, like, I don't know. I think we could have a nuclear holocaust, and it would be the ants and Trump.
The ants and Trump, and
I think he's kind of impervious.
Keith Richards.
And Keith Richards, yeah.
Yeah, I saw the. Oh, this is way off the track. But like, I watched the video the other day. We always do. I watched this video the other day, like, not having cable and internet for the longest time. I was doing some deep dives into some YouTube action, and now they're suggesting. I watched this video of like why Keith Richards. I think that's the name of the video. Why Keith Richards kicks ass, and just some of the licks that dude came up with. And this kid was just playing them, and he was showing, you, the viewer, how to play them. And I'm like, I got to start playing the guitar again. I got to start. Keith Richards is the best. People love to make, and I know I've said this before, people love to make jokes about the Stones, and they're old and all this stuff, and they should hang it up.
They are.
They're still crushing it, though. They're still crushing it. Well, it's that rhythm and blues background. Like nobody was telling B.B. King to hang it up. B.B. King was out there in his 80s, doing his thing. The thrill is gone. Nobody was like, shut up, B.B., you're old. Like, so stop it with the Stones. Okay, we're back. Trump looks the same. Trump looks the same. It's awesome.
But I think that's weird, and I think it says something about him, but I'm not sure what it is yet.
I think it says everything about his work ethic. I think I don't think the presidency hasn't changed him because he's the same dude. There's no,
maybe.
I mean, he's been dealing with the stress and juggling the empire and, keeping I think it's off on the arguments. I really do. Well,
I think he enjoys them. He likes to have somebody to hit. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
But I think that's the New Yorker in him. I think he's got that little chip on his shoulder, and he's learned, over the years, you never hit first, but you hit second, and you hit really hard. He's doing great. I think from the doing the TV show and the real estate empire and buying buildings and running everything. I think the presidency is just like, yes, it's another gig. It's another gig. And it just amazes me. It just amazes me. And I'm not even kidding how well it's going. And I sit and I think sometimes of like legitimately, what if the Democrats were helping a little bit? Just a little bit. Oh my
God, it would be great.
It would be awesome. I did this video the other day. Actually, last night, just put it on YouTube. Are Democrats socialists? Because there's a couple new studies that have come out, and it's really getting quite disconcerting. I'm starting to worry about it. The numbers are crazy. Like 77% of Democrats said America would be better off with more socialism.
Okay, do you know why they say that? If you ask them detailed questions?
Well, there's a lot of reasons and some of which I went into my little comedic video. But let's hear your 2 cents.
They think that the Nordic countries are socialist. They're not.
That is exactly what I was talking about. That is exactly what I was talking about.
It's like the Danish prime minister did a speech and said, "We're not socialists. We have a freer market economy than you do. We just have a large welfare state, and we tax everybody."
Check this out. Here's one of the little nuggets of wisdom you get when you subscribe to the Loftus Party YouTube channel. So I'm doing some research for this video last night, and I guess in the 70s and the 80s, Sweden was a lot more like socialist. They were at the point, where the government takes over the means of production.
Right.
But anyway, it was a huge, socialist state. They ran out of money. And they realized it really quick. And being smart little Swedes, they did a course correction. They privatized their version of Social Security. And they went ballistic with deregulations. They went school choice, school vouchers, all kinds of stuff. And the tax system, if you make less than like $37,000 a year, you can be taxed as much as 60%.
Yep.
It's just
that's the wealth transfers there are huge, you know. And the other thing that people tend to forget about America and things like Medicare for all, looking at these expansive social programs that they have in some of these European countries, we pay for their military.
Yeah.
That's why they freak out when Trump starts talking about, you know, why do we have troops in Germany? Like the war was over. The war was over like 70 years ago. Why do we have troops in Germany? That's why they freak out, because if they actually had to maintain their own defense, they would all go bankrupt. The only reason they could build those programs is because we defend them.
Yeah. And it's just it's shocking to me that the people on the left, they have to know this. Like the smart people who work in the media, the smart people who I honestly can't believe that Bernie Sanders is still out there pimping socialism. I honestly can't. Like, how can you be that wrong and still just bravely soldier on? We're going to stick it to these rich people. We're going to, like, they're going after Bill Gates now. They're going after Bill Gates.
The wrong dude to go after. A, he can screw you right up.
Right? Yeah.
And B, he's given more money to charity than anybody.
And just from the basic mathematical, okay, so you take all his money. Okay, so now he doesn't have any money left to keep the empire going. He's not making these contributions, and you can't steal from him anymore. It's just,
you know, it's over.
It's over. It's ridiculous. It's like the Margaret Thatcher thing. The problem with, you know, socialism is you run out of other people's money. And like, how can you still be selling that? How could I honestly don't get it. Like Elizabeth Warren and AOC and all these other just total tools who are just out there. Well, we're gonna make these people, you know, and they love to bring up the Great Depression. That's the other thing that just drives me crazy. You know, once upon a time, the rich were taxed up to 90%. Yeah,
nobody paid
the Great Depression, you morons.
Nobody paid it. They moved all their money offshore.
It is
like if you go back and look. But here's the thing that really kind of scares me.
Okay.
It's like there's some segment of the population that doesn't understand the difference between income and wealth.
Yes.
So a lot of what Bill Gates has is tied up in assets that aren't liquid, right? So they can't easily be converted to cash.
True that.
So they're going to take say he's worth $100 billion. I don't know what he's worth. Okay. 100 billion. Let's just say they're going to tax that same 100 billion in assets over and over and over again. It's the same money. He doesn't make that every year.
Yeah. It's
my mind is like blown. And then here's something that affects everyone. Like Gen X. Did somebody drop you on your head? Elizabeth Warren is talking about realized capital gains taxes. So if you have a 401k and you make money in it that year, you're going to be taxed on the capital gains in that 401k in the current year, and then you'll be taxed again as income when you take it out.
That's madness. That's the kind of thing that it's just criminal. That's just criminal. These are the kind of things that really get under my skin. They really do. It's like the inheritance tax.
Every bit of it out the day before she's inaugurated and stick it in my mattress. Just so she can't have it. I worked for that money. I would like to retire. I would like to take care of my own parents and my own children and my own grandchildren. I don't want to take care of these millennials. I didn't birth them.
I just hate it when they come after people twice. I just hate the double jeopardy of it all.
I know.
It's like you're already so crooked. Now you're gonna get me twice, and like I'm gonna get crushed. I'm gonna get absolutely crushed.
I know,
Like
because you work in New York,
in New
and you
York,
live in California.
it's just it's depressing, man.
Boom.
It's depressing.
Dude,
Grab
over
grab
50% of
loot.
Californians want to leave in a
And
recent
they
poll.
And they should. But
But
they have
California,
they have to sign a legal document that says they will only vote Republican if they leave.
Because you've learned your damn lesson.
They don't. I don't think people do.
I know.
I don't think they do.
It's like anybody thinking they'd like to vote for Elizabeth Warren, please look at California.
That's what you get.
That's what you get.
That is what
and they're
you
only paying 13% state tax. Okay?
Yeah, and it's like, look at Baltimore, that's what you get. Look at Detroit, that's what you get. Look at San Francisco, that's what you get.
Look at
California's a
Austin.
shame.
Look at Austin, Texas. It's the only place in Texas that looks like that. Why? Because it's blue.
I don't think the governor, but I think the governor stepped in.
The governor did what he could do because the state highway system belongs to the state. So if you were a homeless person with an encampment under a state freeway, he came and cleared you out and got you into treatment.
Yeah, that was they had that one on the news the other day. They were just clearing house. They were just clearing, and my heart. I'm serious, you guys. My heart breaks for these homeless people. You've got you've got a lot of veterans out there that just need help. They gotta just they need help and acclimating and all that stuff. You've got people. Mental illness, and then you've got your people with substance abuse, and then you've got that one little sliver of society that just wants to be homeless and be on their own. Like you're always going to have that segment of society.
Used to call them hobos.
Yes, and before that, they used to call them like wise men and hermits. It's like, seriously, I think we should get back to that. Like, whatever. I should write this down. I'm going to go to Governor's tonight and do a set. Like, whatever happened to, like the wise man that lived in the hills. You'd always have that. Like, even back in the Bible days, there's like people who just checked out of society. They're like, no, man, Jerusalem is too busy. I'm just going to go live in the wilderness. And then people would go and they'd find him and they'd ask him questions and he'd have some deep, insightful shit to say. Yeah. Like, we need that again, where you could make a pilgrimage to visit a homeless dude and he could help you figure out some spiritual stuff.
Well, a big story in the Atlanta Journal-Constitution a couple days ago. All New York City's homeless are headed to Atlanta. Oh,
are they bussing them? Are they bussing them?
No, they're just making their way here, apparently.
What, just getting bussed there?
It's warmer here.
I saw a special many, many moons ago about the homeless people in Manhattan and how they deal with it. And it's really, people are ingenious. People are just absolutely ingenious. But, sleeping in the subway stations, sleeping over the vent from a subway station.
Like covered doorways.
But if you're homeless, I don't know, if let's say you're mental. Let's say you've gone over the edge and you're mental. I would totally make my way to Florida. That's where I'd want to be. I'd want to be in Florida. I'd want to be in San Diego. I wouldn't want to be in New York.
I'd want to be unique. I'd want to be by the water where it's warm, but I'd probably go to the Gulf Coast because then I'd be like the only one there.
Right? You'd be like in Corpus Christi.
I'd be like that shaman person.
Right?
I mean, if you're if you're one of thousands, you become a problem. If you're the only one, you're like the town thing.
There is a buddy of mine.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, I hate it when I do the preamble to the story. There's a buddy of mine, and then I can't remember the guy's name because then it's like
he's not really your buddy.
He's a comedian and he's a writer, and he had this. His bit was like he was like the deputy sheriff in this small town, I think in like Vermont or New Hampshire or something. And his dad was the town Otis, was the town homeless guy, was the town drunk, and he would always have to go out and like arrest his dad and bring him in. It was very, very dark, but it was also very, very funny. And I'm like, how is that not a TV show? How is that not a TV show? Justin, can't remember. Okay, so he is kind of a friend. I remembered his first name. If you're a listener and you know this guy, if you're a listener and you know who I'm talking about, leave a message at theloftusparty.com. Oh, it's going to drive me crazy. It's going to drive me crazy. But I would.
It'll be like 2 a.m. and like I'm going to go, that's his name. I hate that. Mm-hmm.
I don't know where I don't know. I know I'd want to go someplace warm, but like the level of fear that you have to deal with I saw they had a report. This was a couple of weeks ago in Manhattan. Some crazy homeless guy went by a construction site, got a piece of pipe, and then just started killing other homeless people. He killed like 3 people. He just bashed their brains in. And then they finally caught him as he was trying to kill the 4th one. And that's the kind of thing that's just absolutely terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. I would not want to be homeless. There's no appeal for that. Like back in the day, like the early 1800s, you could just go pull a Jeremiah Johnson. You could just like head out into the woods and there's everything. You got food, there's lumber, you can make a little house, you got a gun, you're relatively safe, and you just got to worry about Indians and other people trespassing and all that other stuff. Now there's nowhere to go. There's nowhere to go. I don't even know.
There's plenty of places to go around here where you could go in the woods and build yourself a little shack. It's called squatting. Happens all the times in rural upstate New York. People find an old thing, they like an old building that's been abandoned, and they reinforce it, and they bring their stuff in there, and they live there. It's called squatting.
Wow. You know what? In India, you're allowed to do it. You can just take over. Like possession is beyond 9/10 of law. I guess possession is all. Yeah, possession is all. When I was writing on the show, outsourced, and we had a bunch of like Pan-Asian. I'll use the politically correct term, Pan-Asian writers on that show. That they still had family in India. When you go on vacation in India, you pay someone or you have a relative stay in your house to protect your house, because if you're gone, someone can just break in and just say, I live here now, and it's theirs, and you can't get rid of them.
Really?
Yeah. India's crazy.
Well, I mean, it's got too many people.
Well, that's why I always used to think that like cows were sacred, that it was like a religious thing. But no, that was a decision that the government made back in the day. Like, hey, the milk, we need the milk from these cows. You don't kill cows because they need the free milk. Too many people to feed. Which segues right into global warming. Thank you so much. But it's like for the people who do believe in global warming, and God bless you, and I hope you're not too worried because we only have 10 years left. But like, don't be mad at you try to make this point, and I did a video on this. Like, don't be mad at us. Like, America, we're doing great, and everybody's like, we should be leaders. We are. We're total. We're doing great. Like, seriously, don't march on my building. Don't stop me from going to work. You need to go to China and stop them from going to work. You need to go to India and get those people going to work. Like, and like the plastics in the oceans. That's all coming from like 9 rivers, none of which are in America. None of which.
Okay, and these people all want to carry their iPhones and their cool technology equipment, and they love their hybrid Priuses, right?
Yes, they do.
Those rare metals, getting them out of the earth is one of the most damaging things you can do.
Oh, it's horrifying.
Put down your phone. Stop using your computer. Seriously, guys, like nothing they say makes any sense to me. And if you're serious about reducing CO2, which nobody has a causal link between that and temperature, no one.
Yeah.
You just say it. Okay? If that's really your goal, nuclear energy. Let's be France.
I don't know what else you're going to do unless you make some huge breakthrough in solar panels and batteries that you don't need lithium and all that good stuff.
It's like they believe if you make the law, somebody will make what you need. No, that's not how this works.
I don't know how to explain it to them, and that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, how do you do this in a comedic fashion? Because you can just see them. Like, there's people I know, and you can just watch their little hearts break when you tell them, like, hey, those wind turbines, those blades only last about 10 years, and then you have to tear them down and replace the blades, and it's fiberglass, and there's no place to, like, you can't recycle them, and you can't bury them, and no landfills will take them. You're screwed. And then the energy,
just stack them.
The energy that it takes to make a windmill, you never get that energy back out. Like, you're screwed from, I don't mean to, I guess it's just, and then they kill birds. I hate the windmills. I hate the windmills. And like when I drive across the country, which I've been doing a lot in the past few years, and you see them and they're not turning, that's the one that's like just like peeing in somebody's cereal. You're just like, it's not even on. They don't even have it on. You've built this huge monstrosity and it's not even doing anything. It's insanity.
And I sit there and I see these articles and tweets and I'm like, hey guys, the 70s wants their crisis back. Now we're talking about global cooling. Well, thank God we didn't put those sun reflectors out in space like some of you nuts want to do. Seriously.
Yeah.
Now we're going to go through global cooling and we need to control our population. Ehrlich wrote the population bomb in like 1970 and none of it came true. None of it.
Yeah, that was the famous movie Soylent Green.
Yeah, but none of it came true. None of it.
No.
And not only that, the populations of native citizens in the U.S. and every European country are declining. They're not even at replacement level.
Well, that's where you get that. That's the great joke of it all. You know, if you're literally the Joker from Batman or the comedian from The Watchmen, the great cosmic joke of it all is they convinced everybody back in the 70s there's too many people. Then everybody stopped banging, everybody stopped having kids, and now they're like, holy crap, we don't have enough people here. We need to get all these migrants and all these immigrants in here who have a totally different belief system, a total different culture, and they have no plans to assimilate.
None.
And it's an invasion. It's a revolution without firing a shot. It's a revolution without firing a shot. And
I did my job. We had 4.
4 is a good number. 4 is a good number. Yeah. I went for 2. I started
that was my
too late.
original intention, and things went awry.
Well, oh really? Your original magic number was 2?
Yep.
Oh man, I always wanted a ginormous family. I always, being the youngest of 5, I wanted a big 5. My wife looked at me like I was crazy.
No.
I literally hadn't done the math. I hadn't done the math. Wait, so you'll be pregnant for 9? That never occurred to me.
Yeah, no, if I had been independently wealthy, I would have had 10.
Wow.
Yeah, no, I love kids. I loved being a mom. I loved doing the cookie baking, the whole 9 yards. I mean, all of it.
What about the recovery, though? Aren't you worried?
I was always like, I never had a bad pregnancy. No. Kid came out, went back to work, went back to school, went back to doing whatever I was doing.
Wow. You're like a Native American from the olden days. You just march off to the woods and have a baby come back and start skinning the bear.
It's just a thing.
I guess so. I can't. I can't imagine.
I mean, my youngest,
can't
I used to,
imagine.
after I had him, I used to take him to my office hours as a grad student.
Wow.
Yeah, we imbued him with like knowledge from the time he was like born.
I'm just thinking, like, if I ever took like a giant dump, that it was like the size of a human
It's
being.
not even close to the same thing.
But it seems like it hurts. It seems like it hurts.
It's not comfortable, but like women are
No.
built to do it.
Okay, but I'm just saying, if if I went through that once, I don't know if you could talk me into a second one. I don't know.
But the brain is like an amazing thing. Think
It
about
must.
think about any kind of traumatic experience. After a period of time, most people, and if you can't, you get things like PTSD, most people will recall an event and the specifics of the event, but they can't really recall the terror or the frighten or what the pain actually felt like. Like your brain takes care of that kind of stuff. Or you're right, nobody would ever have a second one.
But aren't you exactly? That's because I think I'd be like on that table for the second one, going, "How did this happen?" I made a solemn oath to myself, and then after the second one, I would just be so just bummed out that I'd probably get something tattooed on my arm, like "Keep that dick away from me."
No, I mean, like, literally. And plus, you know, your body floods with all kinds of hormones that affect the way you think anyway. So, yeah. I mean, your brain is an amazing tool.
Well, I'm gonna give it up to that, because I will tell you this, like, straight up hardcore truth. Before I had kids, and other people's babies, and family members of mine would have, and that baby smell was gross. It was just gross.
I love baby smell.
Oh, I couldn't stand it. I couldn't stand it. Then, when I had kids, I loved baby smell. It was like, it was crazy. Like, and I'd be on the road doing stand-up. I liked looking at like everything. It's the weirdest thing, and you don't even know what's happening. It's like one day you hate Brussels sprouts, and then you wake up and you're like, "Man, Brussels sprouts are my favorite." And you never question it when you're in it, but like, baby smell. And I always just to freak out if people are like, "Ooh, I just wanna bite," like something about
just
baby.
Want to eat you up,
right?
Yeah.
And that seemed like the ramblings of a crazy person.
No,
Until you have your own kids, and then I'd be going through the airport looking at other people's babies like, "That's a cute baby. I want to bite your baby." It's adorable.
Now, my girlfriend recently in the last year had a baby that was born at 10 pounds, 2 ounces.
Oh my God.
That kid had rolls on roll and a full head of freaking hair. That kid came out looking like a toddler. She's a beautiful baby, but she came out with rolls on her thighs and on her arms, and I'm like, "Oh my God, I love her."
Kid came out holding a remote control and a set of Legos.
I know. She came out, like in the nursery compared to the rest of the babies. She looked like a toddler. But she's so cute. She's got these huge cheeks and like no neck. And I'm just, oh my God, I love her. Anyway.
Did mom have a C-section?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, see, and I'm not gonna get like too like lowbrow with it, but like seriously, man, like you go to the pediatrician or you go to your guy, whatever doctor you go to, and they're doing the ultrasound, and they go, "This baby's gonna be 10 pounds." I'd be like, "Well, it's not coming out the vajayjay. We are not gonna ruin the front door over this.
Not gonna happen.
We're gonna open up a side window." And you will extra. Oh, I can't imagine. God bless you, ladies, for doing what you do.
Babies are the best.
Oh, yes. They're wonderful. They're wonderful. Okay, we're going to do a little bit of Hollywood talk here.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, Jeff Goldblum got into big trouble. Here's the things that are coming up on my radar. The Disney Plus streaming service that launches in a couple of days. and I'm stoked, and I'm going to be watching the Mandalorian and the Star Wars stuff, and I'm completely jazzed about that. One of the other shows that Disney Plus has is like the Jeff Goldblum Experience or The World According to Jeff Goldblum, something like that. And I think Jeff Goldblum is relatively interesting and entertaining, but I don't think you give him his own show. There, I said it. So he was out doing press for this thing, and some reporter decided to trap him by asking him if he would ever work with Woody Allen again. And shame on me for not knowing Jeff Goldblum's filmography, but I don't even know how many Woody Allen movies he did. It's not like he's Woody Allen's golden boy.
Right.
And Jeff Goldblum had the audacity, because they're like, so Woody Allen's a rapist. They're saying Woody Allen's a rapist. And Jeff Goldblum says, well, I think in America we have a presumption of innocence before finding somebody guilty.
How dare he?
How dare he? And it's like cancel culture. Cancel. This happened last week. And everyone is like saying that they want Disney to cancel Goldblum's show. And that is a step too far, ladies and gentlemen. That is a step too far.
You can say a man has been accused of something, but until he's convicted, he's not an
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Jeffrey Epstein actually was convicted of having sex with underage girls.
Yes, and then he gets out of the joint, and there's a big party, and all the movers and shakers
But
are there.
we can say that about him because he was actually convicted.
Yeah.
Unless somebody's convicted, like Harvey Weinstein is an alleged serial rapist. Until he's convicted, you can't say he is anything.
Yeah, I the whole Harvey Weinstein thing, that's I don't know. That we don't have enough time left in the show to get into that. But I saw that like he was in New York recently, or maybe it was L.A. or something, and he was at some crazy little like open mic night, or maybe it was like a showcase night for young starlets. I don't know. But there was this girl on stage, and she had a microphone. It looked like an open mic night. And she's like, there's a rapist here. It's making me uncomfortable. There's a rapist here. And I'm like, holy crap. And I guess it was Harvey Weinstein. And everybody was like, oh, my goodness, that girl is brave. And it just seemed to...
Well, and everybody freaking out over Louis C.K. again.
What did he do something recently?
No, he has the audacity to go out and do shows.
Oh, yeah. Well,
like Louis C.K., what he did was gross and kind of weird.
Yeah.
But he didn't actually touch anybody. And most of the people it happened to said it was kind of gross and kind of weird, and I hung up the phone or we left and we laughed. I mean, like, there was no trauma.
And he told everybody, I didn't realize this. Every single one of those people, he's like, I'm about to do this, or I'm going to.
Do you mind if I do this? He would ask.
So if you're a comedian, you're a young lady and you're a comedian, and Louis C.K. is like, hey, I'm going to be up in my room if you want to talk about stuff. Okay, I go up. And then Louis C.K. comes out of the bedroom and he goes, you know what I'm going to do right now? I'm going to whip it out and pleasure myself. And then you probably laugh. Oh, that Louis C.K., that's hilarious. Then he starts doing it, and you're like, wow, he's really committed to this joke. And then you realize, oh, snap, this is legit. That's when you get up and leave. That's when you get up and leave.
And like, if you're literally that offended, fine. Don't go see his show.
Yeah, I didn't. I realized I was talking about that with a comic in New York recently, and he's like, every single one of those women got the heads up. Every single one of them got a heads up. That changes everything. Louis will be back.
I guess he's already been doing some stuff and everything. Like, I can't believe he has the audacity, and I'm like, don't go.
Well, it was a couple years ago that he started doing. He was at not Stand Up New York. It was the Comedy Cellar. And my only problem with that is when it's that recent after the whole hullabaloo, just put his name outside. Louis C.K. is going to be on stage. That way people can, if you're that offended, you can just opt not to go in. I just thought it was kind of like bogus to say, hey, we have a special guest coming to the stage. Please welcome, Louis C.K. It just seemed a little soon. It seemed a little soon for that, but he won't have the career that he used to have, but he'll make a good living on the road. And then who knows? Somebody might, put him in a movie. Somebody might.
My favorite thing with a comedian this week that's not you, Michael.
I was about to say.
You do something that just amazes me every week. So
yeah. She said, covering her ass.
Yeah, no. Well, no, was Dave Chappelle's whole answer to that thing where they're like, do you think like you went too far? No, not really. I said what I had to say. It's what I always do. So I guess, yada, 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 whatever I'm supposed to say here, and walked away.
Yeah.
I loved it. I'm like, that was perfect.
Yeah, Chappelle knows what's up. Chappelle knows what's up. Bill Burr knows what's up. And then you have a bunch of other people who are just...
Gervais now knows what's up.
Yeah, and then you have a bunch of people who are just, cowards. And here's the last thing that I want. Like, the last thing I want is a bunch of, like, Bill Burr, Dave Chappelle, wannabes running around. Yeah. There's nothing worse. There are, but it's one of my huge pet peeves. You have some young stand-up comic, and they do some joke that's like, hey, something about rape or something about, and then the audience doesn't laugh because the joke isn't funny, and they go, oh, I guess you guys are too PC. No, dude, it has nothing to do with political correctness and everything to do with we're not going to laugh at your unfunny ass telling lame jokes.
Right.
Oh, it's the worst. It's the worst.
But I mean,
and I think there's going to be a flood of them coming.
Right?
Oh,
when you had really popular comics like, Carlin or, whoever,
It was Bill Hicks. Yeah, when I was coming up, like almost everyone I knew was like doing their version of Bill Hicks, and oh, I'm brave, and if you read, you think I'm funny. If you don't read, you're gonna have a long night. It's like, no, dude, this has nothing to do with the books people are or are not reading, and everything to do with you not being funny. And just, oh, you threw out a Grapes of Wrath reference. We've all read that book. Shut up, you're not funny. I was so glad when that finally ended, and I can just sense it's coming. It's coming. There's a whole new wave of them coming.
Well, they won't last long.
I hope so. It's always, you've got to find your own shtick. You got to find your own voice as a comedian. You got to find what gets you. And hey, maybe it is. Maybe you are the next, George Carlin or the next Bill Hicks. I guess give it a try. I'm not going to tell you what you should and shouldn't do. I just hate it when you're not funny and you blame it on something else. No, it's all on you. That's the great thing about, stand-up. You don't have a director. You don't have an editor. It's just you and what you want to say and how you want to say it. Oh, I'm fired up now. I'm so glad I'm doing stand-up tonight.
Yeah?
I'm going to go out to Governor's Comedy Club out here on Long Island. They welcomed me back with open arms.
Good.
Earlier on this week. It was great. It was great going back. That club is awesome. The dude who runs it loves comedy. He's never even going to tell you. There's like zero censorship. This is one of the places where Louis staged his comeback. Govs out on Long Island, the Levittown Governors. So that'll be good. I have to figure out a set. I think I'm going to do the hermit thing. I'm going to do the whatever happened to the wise holy man who lived on it. We got to bring that back. I think there's something very funny there. Funny there. Okay, so a little bit of a box office report as we were getting into the Jeff Goldblum thing. I think this is hilarious. Did you see how much money the Joker made?
Nope.
I think it just crossed the $1 billion mark. The $1 billion.
The one none of us were supposed to go see because it was about an incel?
Yeah, and then the one that there was gonna be huge waves of violence, and it was only appealing. The only appeal was to angry young white men. Well, the Joker, I think that movie cost like $65 million. It's too funny now. The number's actually gone up. After I saw the Joker, I went to Box Office Mojo and I checked, and they were saying it was $55 million. But now that it's crossing the profit into the billions of dollars. They're going, oh no, that was like $65 million to make. Either way, it's just it's great, and I couldn't be happier. It's like the most successful R-rated movie of all time. It's a great piece of filmmaking. If you haven't seen it, you need to go see it. And it just shows that America is tired of the Captain Marvels of it all, and the Star Wars Mary Jane. There's actually a term for it now, Mary Jane. It's these strong female characters who can overcome anything, and they don't even break a sweat. Terminator, the latest Terminator movie,
Tanking.
which from the ads it looks like girl power, times infinity. They brought everybody back. They brought Linda Hamilton back. They brought Schwarzenegger back. They got a new girl in there. Girl power, girl power. They are going to lose their shirts on that. Oh. It is tanking big time. And here's what I love.
But I mean, that was a great franchise because it was a good story. You can't just plug a story into that franchise and make it work.
Well, that's what they did for years and years. It's with what they did with the Terminator and what they did with Predator is what they're doing to Star Wars right now. You just muddy the waters with like crappy movies, and then people go, wait, yeah, Terminator started really strong, and then it got.
The second one was good.
Oh, the second one was great. Thoroughly enjoyed the second one, and then I don't even know what the third one was about. And then it gets all goofy with time travel, and too many people are coming back in time, and this Terminator's that, and now we're going to go back, and Christian Bale's there playing. I couldn't follow it. I lost interest. I lost interest in the old Terminator. But I'm glad that Midway's beating it. Midway, which I love that story. I saw the original Midway in the movie theaters when I was a little kid. And I just thought I just love that story, and I'm glad that Roland Emmerich and the gang made an updated version of that with CGI and the whole 9 yards. And that one, it was supposed to do garbage at the box office, and it's crushing. It's crushing. And I just love that these social justice woke movies just keep getting the smackdown. They keep getting the smackdown. And we'll see how long it takes Hollywood to wake up. It'll be funny to see.
I mean, I just don't understand why you had to screw with the Terminator like that. Linda Hamilton was always a lead character in that franchise, and she's always been a tough girl.
Yeah, nobody.
Why did you have to do it with that one? I just don't get it.
Nobody complains. Yeah, that's another great example of you just don't like strong female characters.
No, I really liked her character.
Nobody complained in Terminator 2. Nobody complained. Nobody complained about Ridley in Alien or Aliens.
No.
No one has a problem with strong female characters.
Nobody complained about Princess Leia.
Well, I complained about her when she started flying around the spaceship.
Yeah, but I'm talking about in the original 3 movies.
Oh, yeah. They don't wear underwear in outer space. That's the famous quote. Why can't I wear a bra and underwear? They don't wear underwear in outer space. That was just George Lucas shutting her down. I've heard some rumors, and we'll close it up on this, about Star Wars that, and I haven't read the articles because I'm afraid of spoilers, but Star Wars, this movie is such a disaster that they were doing some reshoots as late as 2 weeks ago, and that they brought George Lucas back in to help out on the edit. I hear it's an absolute mess. It's an absolute mess. Wait for
Blu-ray on this one, I guess.
I'll see it in the movie theater. I'll definitely go.
I just don't want to reward them for screwing the whole thing up.
I know. I'm in the same boat. I just need to be able to speak to it and all that stuff. But there's a YouTuber that I really like, and I'll put his content up on the Loftus Party from time to time. But this guy made a great point. Is that the first Star Wars trilogy? Luke Skywalker, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Darth Vader. The climax of that whole movie is Darth Vader has to choose between his master, the Emperor, who's pure evil, and saving his son. And so in one final act of redemption, the crowning moment in that, it's not blowing up the Death Star, it's there's good in Darth Vader. There's an act of redemption, and he kills the Emperor. And so by J.J. Abrams, in a very cheap way, bringing the Emperor back, well, that totally undercuts the entire trilogy. Now that act of redemption that Darth Vader did is meaningless and hollow, and it means nothing. And is there any real it's jacked up on a philosophical level. But that's the brand of Star Wars geek I am. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Okay, a wonderful show. Here's what's going on. We got the Freedom to Laugh comedy tour. We're hitting Chicago. We're hitting the Chicagoland on November 24th. We're going to be at the Schaumburg Improv. And we're going to be joined by some of our friends from the Fox Nation. And we're going to be filming a little something for that wonderful streaming service. I'm going to announce probably next week who's going to be there and what the magical lineup's going to be. So you got that to look forward to. You got to always check back at theloftusparty.com. You got to always check at the Loftus Party YouTube channel. And to our Patreons, I am finally settled in. And the old complimentary T-shirt factory is going to get fired up. Hopefully I can get it to your house before Christmas. I can be your little Loftus Party, flying, fire-breathing dragon Santa Claus.
And then you were also on a podcast with Mrs. Sam Sorbo.
That's right, the Sam Sorbo Show. Doing that, and I'm gonna start maybe doing little videos over a little streaming thing over at the Cloud Hub. You can stream the videos now. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's all good. There's a lot going on. All of it good. Okay, you guys are wonderful. Have a great week. We got videos on Tuesday. We got videos on Saturday, the podcast. This is Monday. I got a case of Mondays. Have a good one, you guys.